Joe Budden calls out Adam22 on live and calls him a pedo during his, what in the white pervert shit are you on? Yo, Joe be wildin'. One thing about Joe Budden, I always tell you guys, what is it? Is his messages are not always wrong or bad, but his delivery is the worst. The worst. One of the worst delivery men ever. Ever. You had a pizzeria and he was your delivery man. You're going out of business. He is one of the worst ever.
You got away from that.
Conversation lovers only, featuring Adam22 talking and jamming.
Because that can be.
What app is this? Is this Clubhouse?
Very dangerous.
Well, that is true.
Let me talk.
Okay.
Especially dealing with a girl that young, number one, but they don't know shit about shit. They don't even know when they're putting somebody in danger, according to you. You said the girl was from wherever she was from, so she didn't know what she was doing, but you knew what you were doing. You said, right. I knew what I was doing, so I got away from her. Well, right. You didn't get away from her if by the grace of God, she ends up back in your life while she's now of age. You're spending the night at her fucking mom's house. What type of white boy pervert shit are you? What are you talking?
That's where the white boy pervert shit came. Okay, I never heard this. This is all new, and I didn't know that either. So wait, she was 16. I remember that Adam said she was from Canada. He ended up speaking to her once on the phone and then finding out of her age that she was 16. Never talked to her again. Never spoke to her again. Now it sounds like. Then when she was of age, Adam goes, finds out Shorty again, starts linking up with her. That is all new to me. See, I never knew any of this. And now is even accused of spending a night at Shorty's mother's house is wild.
What is the pervert shit about dating somebody once they are legal and of age?
That's
that's
what it sounds like, weird. And I'm not saying this is what it is.
He's grooming her.
Joe, I didn't say a word to her for 3.5 years. That, you know, it's like.
So wait, nah, that is creepy. That's creepy. Shorty was 16. He didn't talk to her. He's trying to say for 3.5 years. People were calling cap. It sounded like some grooming shit. Like you just had it ready in the tuck. Redshirted her like a freshman. And as soon as she was of age, ready to start your quarterback position, you gave it a ball and yelled hike. That sounds a little weird. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, what's the coincidence? That is a little bit weird. This is all alleged. I don't know no information. I'm just watching the video with you guys, but it does sound weird.
Like we just sort of ended up
waited for the girl. You waited for the girl, Adam.
Huh?
You waited for the girl.
I didn't wait for anything. We just ended up reconnecting later on.
How did you reconnect later on? Or the Facebook algorithm put the girl in your bed? He
said the Facebook algorithm put the girl in your bed? Like, you know, I'm telling you guys, bro, Joe be having me ready to slam shit across the house if I'm in an argument with him. That's nuts. That is crazy. Like, how did you bump back into Shorty? Or, like, why didn't you bump into her next year when she was 17 or even the year after that? You waited exactly 3 years later until she was of age. It's crazy.
You didn't know at that point that you probably shouldn't fuck the girl that you were talking to while she was 16 years old?
So because I met her when she was underage, I shouldn't have fucked her when I was over it.
Yes. That's what I'm saying to you.
Well, in retrospect, I wish I had taken that advice. It would have made everything a lot simpler, right?
Well, yeah, if you isolate that, right? But then they have the little nasty tweet floating around where you talking about fucking young girls.
I had some, I mean, that seems like an exaggeration. I had some edgy, jokey tweets from like 2008 to 2012 or some shit that, you know, a lot of those are pretty fucking disrespect. I know you, Joe. I know that you remember Twitter back in the day and you know how fucking toxic.
Nah, Twitter was crazy back in the day for sure. And that's why I always say, it's like, I don't really accept when people come and cancel these dudes over jokes they were saying. People used to be tweeting dumb shit. Bro, I was on Twitter when I was like in 10th and 11th grade. If I can go back to the shit that I was saying at 10th and 11th grade, I know it was beyond stupid. I know it was sexist. I know it was like, it's just dumb. Like, are you getting me? So like, I can push, but saying shit about young girls is crazy.
Sick it was.
It was bad, which is why I did a scrub of all the bad things that I had to say. But I'm not going to...
Yeah, because Joe was always on Twitter too, so some shit could definitely pop up. Also, I found the video talking about more of Adam's actual tweets that they found. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, right here. All right, right here. Things are getting worse. Adam22's old tweets resurface, insinuating things about wanting sexual relations with an underage girl. This is what he keeps saying, like, yo, but you remember, it was different back there. It was a different world. It was a different world, which it was. But... there was no filter, so a lot of people said a lot of shit that they actually felt. and you was an older man at that time, I get it. If you were somebody like me, I was like, what, 15 at that time? To be a grown adult talking crazy like that, it don't matter what time, bro. You can't use time to excuse underage
Get right
shit.
into it. Yeah.
If he had missed it talking, imagine what really happened. Exposing Adam22.
Has a history of tweeting about underage girls. Was just looking at a girl's Facebook pictures and kept going till the old ones when she was 15 and realized I thought she was hotter then.
That's
LOL.
That's
Another one. Brendan and I are developing a new dating site for little kids. Tagline for kids that just want to have. He tweets, I would rather bang a 15-year-old in the behind than be president. I would rather bang a 15-year-old in the behind than win the lottery.
That's crazy, yeah, bro. Yeah. I don't see a joke. Like, I don't really see the laughter in this shit. He's like, no, you know, Tom, and this is 09. This is even older than 11, but still, like, bro, I don't see the jokes in this.
Shouts out to all the 18-year-old girls out there that let a real dude like me hit it, even though when I was 8, they were still an A. And he tweets, I would almost rather sexually harass than have sex.
Yeah, like, bro, you're not making this shit better for yourself. And you can continue throughout the years with the creepy tweets. Like, this shit started in, like, 08, 09, and now we're in 2010, and shit just keeps getting creepy. Like,
yuck. So what do you guys think of that? Although the tweets are old, you'll see.
why they got a picture of Russ? Oh, because Russ sent somebody to punch him in the nail salon? Like, that's mad random. I'm like, yo, he sent some sick shit to Russ?
See that he still feels the same way. In 2006, Adam posted a thread, Ask Adam22 questions about 27 girls he slept with. The thread features photos of many women described and graphic accounts of sexual acts. In response to one of the questions, do you beat your women? Adam replied, last year, some girl my roommate banged got really mad because I made some inappropriate
Nah, I gotta find this. Hold on.
lottery.
I do this to Adam, but nah, my bochinche itself, my little gossiping myself, I need to know. Hold on. Exposing. Let's see if we can find that video. Exposing Adam. They had Russ in the cover. What was this one about?
So just because it's on camera and because I'm a podcaster, it's not cool?
No, I'm not saying that. It's just that
Women, you actually like got to consent to want to have sex with you. And if you're giving them money, that just feels kind of...
I mean, so you're going to essentially have a full-blown porn company.
Yeah, it's basically this like bacterial infection. The STD test that they give you, don't test for it. A ton of people in the industry have gotten it. When I was like 21, didn't realize that she was underage. But then we started talking on the phone one time and she just told me right away, like, because I talked about how I had like spoken to her online when she was younger. And so I don't...
That's the creepiest picture I've ever seen in my life of Adam22. The creepiest picture ever. Also, the song with Adam just saying these a whole bunch of crazy pervert shit is wild.
No, I just wasn't worried about fucking some fat girl that I met at the bar. Like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. There's no like mystery about it. There's no
I watched it with my joint and I just couldn't believe the shit that I heard in this.
flirting. It's just like a body. It was nice to be able to nut on her boobs or whatever, but let's be real, like, it would have been nice if she could have at least like, give me a little good look. God damn it. What the fuck?
Yeah, but there's some things they're throwing it in like as a joke. You see, like we don't know what he was talking about in there. We don't know what he was talking about. He could talk about a video he was making with Lena, with a legal age girl, but just them taking that out, putting it in this, slow-moing it, zooming up to his face, putting the dramatic music could make it sound and look a lot worse than it is.
My girlfriend came out with this accusation saying that I raped her, which is, after that happened,
Many hours of investigation. The investigators told them that they didn't have anything solid to go on.
And then you lost your record deal.
All right, this video is going to cover every allegation of misconduct against the Emperor of No Jumper, Adam Grandmason. Adam's been accused over and over again by many different people of doing some very disturbing things to his alleged victims. And I just wanted to cover all of it for you in case you forgot or don't know allegedly how incredibly dangerous and predatorial this guy is. This guy is one sick son of a bitch. Of course, this is all just my opinion. Nothing here is stated as fact. So let's get into the video here. So the first thing on the list here is the infamous tweets. These are insanely disturbing tweets that Adam put out when he was in his mid-20s and really made it clear what he's probably interested in. I mean, he's not looking for any older women, if you catch my drift. So you got these tweets, but what comes next is actually physical. So apparently Adam was online dating a 16-year-old teenage sophomore in high school from Canada.
That should look crazy. Don't tell me that's the picture to show you.
When he was over 21 years old.
Really getting into the conversation. She told me she was underage. It's a big deal in America, in Canada. not necessarily as big a deal because, you know, it's legal there. But I've also like heard from like every Canadian person I ever talked to that that's still like looked down upon. You know?
So obviously it's not cool to be romancing teenage girls over the internet when you're in your 20s. And he would get dragged for this online as it resurfaced. But this girl actually accused him of the R word. I was like, no, just stop, she said. I was pushing him off me and my hands were pushing him, really just barricading my vagina with my hands. Like, no, don't go there. Don't put your fingers in there. Don't go anywhere in there. I don't want that. He easily had 100 pounds on me. So anyways, go check out this Pitchfork article that got written about all this stuff. This is too disturbing for me to continue, so let's move on. All right, this next allegation is from a girl who says she met Adam22 in 2005 on a message board, and when they met in real life, he had committed the R word against her, allegedly, of course, but these are her words, not mine. At first, I was okay with it, but...
So they've been charging him, or actually not charging, they've been accusing him of the R word more than one time. It looks like it wasn't the first time that they actually said, yo, Adam's been bugging. Now, it looks like this shit has been going on for a minute. Me being a big fan of No Jumper, I can't lie to you, I did not know all this. I knew the thing about the one-armed girl, him recording her, her getting mad about that. He talked about that. I knew about the 16-year-old girl, but I did not know about all these R words.
It quickly became uncomfortable as it went further than I wanted it to go. I was terrified and froze while he had sex with my basically lifeless body. I was too afraid to fight back and feared that he would hurt me. Wow. Okay, so this is pretty sick, and it does sound consistent with what we just heard with the Canadian teen. I mean, I was getting the two stories confused when I was writing this thing, so, you know, it's very similar. And Adam has been physical towards women in the past, as you see here in this Daily Beast article. He talks about sending a woman well, let's just read it. I then felt it would be a good idea to point the water bottle in her face and spray it. This provoked her even more, so she pushed me back onto her roommate's bed and punched me again. I reacted by lifting both of my feet, planting them in her chest as hard as I could, and sending her flying back 10 feet into the roommate's desk. He concluded, I got up, looked at her just sitting there dazed in a pile of furniture and books, and said, you're a crazy bitch, and walked out to my car and went home. Wow.
So that's what it was. That's what I wanted to hear at the end of it. I didn't know. Okay. So he drop-kicked his roommate's joint that he was tweaking with.
Okay, so he basically kicked the girl in the chest and sent her flying across the room. Now, I want to show you guys something here. Adam22's legs are so huge and so unnaturally...
Yo, that's the only shit I remember from this entire video when I saw this shit, because I was editing, so I be having shit just playing. Like, I don't be clicking shit. Shit just be going on. Like, like, my YouTube's on in the background right now. It's just on mute. But my YouTube be going on all day, and just the fact that you can still hear little pieces and shit when you're just chilling. I remember this. Him talking about Adam's big-ass behemoth legs.
Behemoth that, I mean, they're terrifying. It's almost like he's like a massive hobbit. You know what I mean? He's built like a kangaroo. So you got this kangaroo guy, and could you imagine getting kicked?
He said my man's got them thunder thighs. He got them video vixen
by this
legs.
guy. He said he did it as hard as he could. Look at those legs. His kneecaps are bigger than his whole head. Okay, look at this. Okay. So anyways, I thought this would just be an honorable mention. All right, now this is going to bring us to the allegations by the one-armed girl. Now, the one-armed girl is a girl by the name of Lauren Duck. And I guess she's lost her arm in a motorcycle accident. So you have this like beautiful girl with one arm, and she starts a GoFundMe for a bionic, like a fake arm. And so she's got this GoFundMe for this cast. He and her had a sexual encounter, and she accuses him of filming that encounter without her consent, which is sexual assault. Adam would defend himself.
And in the state of California, there is a law called revenge porn. So if that is true, and California is one of the only states that you could get in trouble for that.
By saying that he only filmed 8 seconds of it and that she was aware that he was doing it. Well, she says she wasn't aware that he was going to do it. And so it seems like Adam's sickness is deeply rooted into this filming thing. He likes to film things and show his friends. Allegedly. This is a quote from Adam22. How much a woman enjoys sexual activity is usually not highly correlated to how much fun I'm having, though. So I didn't give it much thought. But she did come out later on during the time when everyone was coming forward against Adam and when he got canceled and he lost his record deal, allegedly. So when Adam and Lena the Plug made their video statement addressing all the allegations, they seemed to just sort of focus everything on Lauren Duck and make her out to be this big liar. And the whole response video was basically just Adam and Lena focusing on Lauren Duck when there was a bunch of other allegations going on that were much more serious.
My ex-girlfriend from like like 10 years ago, came out with this accusation saying that at the beginning of our relationship that I raped her, which is insane because, I mean, you know, there's absolutely no evidence. There's nothing to corroborate it. There's absolutely nothing to go on. But after that happened, Lauren decided that she wanted to, you know, sort of jump on the bandwagon and start to, you know, say that she didn't like me.
I remember right when those accusations came out that she initially reached out to you and was like, I'm so sorry that this is happening to you, as any friend would.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it was like trashing me and you on the timeline.
Yeah, as soon as
defending you.
As soon as it became more beneficial to her to jump on the bandwagon, she went for it. But
due to the Xanax, I don't remember it.
So this is a girl right here that he's accusing her of capping his ex-girlfriend, and she's saying that he was actually drugging her and doing a whole bunch of things allegedly to have intercourse, and it sounds like she said he committed the R word against her. Which is crazy to be accused by your own girl. Not saying it's impossible, I'm not trying to say that, but it's crazy.
Him recording me without my consent, and me saying, are you recording me? And I don't remember much else. And then they posted a fucking screenshot of Adam texting me saying he's sorry, I was like catching flack for it on the internet, and I literally respond by saying I don't know what's happening. Like, I admit in the text I didn't know anything about the situation. And then he says that he didn't show anyone the video that he took without consent. And then a few minutes later says that he showed it to his friends. Even the fans know that they're just putting this on me because he does.
Hold on. Wait, I'm mad confused. This might be the girl with one arm. I'm confused again. There's just a lot going on. So is she the one that accused him? Like, who was he texting?
Doesn't want to
he's saying
comment
Lauren.
on
Okay.
the multiple
I think that's the
other
girl with the
women
one
that
arm.
full out said that raped them.
I mean, you got to admit, that's a pretty glaring point when you got multiple women coming out against you, you know, saying, you know, I get that there's some people that are scorned and, you know, there's ex-lovers that come out and say that, but when multiple people that don't know each other come out and say this, it's probably true, right? And not all the allegations against Adam22 are rape allegations. A lot of them are sexual coercion allegations. Sexual coercion is unwanted sexual activity that happens when you're pressured, tricked, threatened, or forced in a non-physical way. All right, let me break this down into an analogy. Let's say you have a really popular podcast, and there's a girl that really wants to be on your podcast, and you say, okay, yeah, sure, you could be on my podcast, let's say in a week. And she says, okay, great, a week sounds great. Then the next day, you text her and you say, hey, what are you doing? You want to come over and have sex? If she doesn't go over and have sex, she might feel like you won't follow through with the podcast next week, right? So she goes over and has sex with you, even though she doesn't like you or find you attractive in any way. She just wants to make sure you don't get mad at her and not give her a spot on the podcast like you promised. That is known as sexual coercion. So this is what...
That's tricky, though. That's tricky. Because how about if you're like, nah, I was going to give it to her either way. She could have still had the show. Like, I wasn't going to take that away from her. That's tricky because then it becomes your word versus hers to prove that she's going to have to prove that you were not going to put on the show if she didn't do what you wanted to say. You're going to have to prove that her show had nothing to do with you wanting to hook up with her. That's why they tell you don't be having sex with people from work because it could just get real tricky.
DJ Academics was insinuating against Adam, and I count it as an allegation. So allegedly, Adam was pressuring Selena Powell into doing pornography on the Plug Talk show when she never wanted to do that. She just wanted to make sure that Adam didn't cancel her podcast that she had set up on the No Jumper platform. So Selena Powell is the ex-girlfriend of blogger DJ Academics, and when DJ Academics found out that Selena Powell had been dabbling in the pornography, that's when all hell broke loose. DJ Academics got really, really mad at Adam, you know, for pressuring his ex-girlfriend into doing porn, which he never wanted to do. And he did a live stream with Selena Powell exposing Adam. And basically they both insinuated that Adam was a human trafficker / sexual coercioner using this coercion tactic to traffic women to his Plug Talk show. Very, very disturbing, terrifying stuff. Of course, everything I have just said is alleged and nothing is stated as a proven fact. All right, so this is going to be a clip of Adam propositioning Selena Powell to do the Plug Talk porn stuff in a voice chat.
Between me and you, keep this low key. Me and Lena have been working on the idea for the past couple weeks or months.
Yo, look at Axe face. Axe a demon. Look at his face.
Of basically us doing like a podcast. It's going to be primarily a porn / podcast thing. So like a typical episode might be you and your friend both haven't shot real actual porn yet, right? well, what if we, for one of the first episodes of this podcast, you know, we have male talent.
Cheers, Selena, cheers!
With a huge dick. And then it's like, I mean, we could do sex. We could just do a blowjob. Whatever. Either way, I mean, you guys are obviously going to make an insane amount of money off it. We'd also pay you guys.
And every time that Adam talks about you making an insane amount of money, every time I hear the receipts, it's never an insane amount of money.
X amount of dollars. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this.
Okay, so now Selena's going to talk about how she never wanted to do the porn and she only went through with it because she didn't want to make Adam and Lena cancel her show on the No Jumper network.
I didn't know how to release.
It is hard, though, to take Selena's word because she is King Cat. She knows now we're all going to cancel Adam. Let me jump on that wave. We all know that Adam canceled their show, so now if I can get him back with the sexual coercion, that's one route she could take. It's hard to believe somebody like Selena. She's one of the people that cried wolf.
I know because I really wanted this podcast.
I'm saying it's hard for
I didn't want to like be a porn star. Like I don't want any of that.
Let me ask you a question. Did you feel that if you said, hey, Lena Maxwell, hey, Adam Epstein, I do not...
Lena Maxwell... Adam Epstein, that's crazy. Yo, Adam is crazy. I mean, Jack is crazy.
Want to do this sexual scene. Do you feel like they may have said, okay, cool, so you're not with us. We don't want to continue your podcast. Did you feel like your podcast was in jeopardy?
Duh, 100%.
It seems like he was trying to coerce you into doing sexual acts. Is that true?
Dude, like, I feel like if I don't say yes to this, like, he's going to take my show away. So we signed the paper, and then that's when I seen that I was only getting $500. Yes, I did.
Insane amount of money to $500. Shout out to Smack. I heard he made $905 this whole time there. That is insane.
I tell Adam when we're discussing the...
Somebody like me that doesn't get nowhere near the views that No Jumper get, or even probably this guy got on a couple episodes, Smack, that he was a part of. To just think that he got 905 is insane to me.
The porn star, because the porn star said he'll do it for $5,000. And when I sent it to them, they're like, what the fuck? We're not paying nobody no $5,000. Low-key, me and Eliza, we told each other, like, yo, we ain't doing shit without 10K. I was like, oh, shit, like, I didn't know porn stars get paid. Porn is the worst industry.
An insane amount of money off it.
And big surprise, Selena Powell's podcast did get canceled. And if I was to guess, it would be because she didn't want to become, you know, one of Adam's actresses. It's the theory that Adam tends to target newcomers so he can lowball them, you know, be like, oh, you're getting all this exposure being on the No Jumper, you know, plus, you know, and then he just gives them $500. Adam even says in that voice text to Selena that he wants to do this with girls that aren't into porn, and then he gets them to do porn for the first time. That's kind of weird, right? It's kind of like what happened with this girl.
And Adam was like, what are you willing to like do this right now live, like for real? And I'm like, fuck yeah, like, and somehow
that
Adam
was
got
some
me.
way you basically have sex with Adam and his girl live on television or live on that podcast, saying, again, not a porn star, but these are grown women and they're making the decisions themselves.
You just had to know.
So if you're really chasing it for clout, is that Adam's fault that you're chasing it for clout? You should want more. I don't know. That's a tricky.
Didn't get you to do shit.
He did.
Your ass
Watch
did
the
it.
fucking
you see,
thing.
look
Watch
right there.
the thing.
No, but you were with it.
I wasn't even a porn star yet.
No.
I was just like a little fangirl out here fucking doing anything to be on this podcast. Like, hey, look at me. But obviously I was like, fuck, this is awesome. Like, this is going to get me a lot of followers and new traffic because I'm on fucking Plug Talk. This is amazing.
Just to get 5 seconds of fame, sweetie, 5 seconds of clout. That's what, yeah, all right. Even though I would say no to this shit, I'm going to still say yes because I want more followers.
She kept saying, like, ew, he's not that cute. I don't want to do it.
It ain't like you're doing it for a major bag.
Right. We know a lot of girls who do sex tapes for a lot less than 1 million subscribers.
I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah,
with what I do for a living, fuck no.
But I know that it's not even really necessarily about the money for you. It's about just having people you want to feel loved, even if the feeling is just, we know it's fake, but you still cling to that. You'll go broke tomorrow to keep that validation. You'll break.
Sharp shit, a lot of true shit on there. Is Adam the one to blame that these girls are willing to ruin their life just to get 5 minutes of fame, just to be on Plug Talk, sleeping with Adam, and they're not even porn stars just because they want to get the exposure? Is that Adam's fault? I'm not too sure, but they did say a lot of dark shit that Adam went through and a lot of information I didn't know that Joe talked more into as well regarding that 16-year-old girl that was super creepy and super dark.